All right, let's talk about Taylor Heinicke and the Atlanta Falcons because, offense looked a lot better when he was out there in this game. I think a lot of people are now questioning why was Ritter out there to begin with, things like that. Although, I think some of that's a bit unfair. Although, I also think some of it is fair. The Atlanta Falcons need a lot to go right if they're still going to make the postseason, which, yes, is still possible, although they're hanging on by a thread at this point. But it would be impossible if they lose one of the next two games. So let's talk about, can Taylor Heinicke do enough to help them win the next two games, and just the situation in general with him, and how does that, what do we view with him and why Ritter was ahead of him, all that stuff. Let's just get into it. So we're going to start off with the play you see on the screen. 3rd down and 6 right here. You have a couple of routes that are hopefully going to get into a gap in coverage. Watch as when Heinicke takes the snap, he's not looking in that direction. I mean, there is a open player for sure, past the sticks, but, Heinicke's read is somewhere else, right? So what are you supposed to do at this point? Sometimes you're looking away from the player. It is what it is. Well, not exactly. So because Heinicke is looking in that direction, it's zone coverage, and he can read the coverage, and he can see that there is, there are players shifted over in the direction he's currently looking. Because of that, he knows that the coverage towards his right is not going to be as, there's not going to be that much of players in front of the guy he's trying to throw to. Watch him without hesitation, look over and immediately fires. That quickness is what you like to see if you're a Falcons fan right there. And those are the things that he is capable of doing. I mean, that's almost practically a no-look pass right there. He definitely can, be capable of doing things like that. And I should mention, for better or worse, we have seen it go wrong at times as well, including even in this game. Like this play, a lot was talked about with he didn't turn the ball over. That's true, but that doesn't mean he didn't put the ball in harm's way at times, which, again, for Atlanta, only putting the ball in harm's way once and not turning the ball over is a great game for what they're used to seeing with Ritter, who I thought was pretty good at being a game manager, but just couldn't protect the football. Well, Heinicke's reckless ambition can get them in trouble sometimes as well. Zone coverage, the route you see on the screen is just kind of a check down route here on 3rd down and 5. As you see, Heinicke's going to take the snap. He looks towards the check down route, Bijan Robinson, who was starting the game blocking and kind of got disrupted, and there's a Colts player right behind him. So it's not really a check down you want. I mean, listen, get the ball in Bijan Robinson's hands, good things can happen, right? But there's also pressure right here in Heinicke's face, so, it's a bit of a tough decision, and realistically probably not one he should be making just in general. Just take the sack, or, I don't know, probably what I would like is just throw it at Bijan Robinson's feet if you can, and then, live to see another play. Because you're on the outside of field goal range right now, don't make things harder on Koo. Instead, watch what Heinicke is going to do on this play. Due to the pressure, his throw's a bit wild and really kind of threw it right to an Indianapolis player. Did not get intercepted, but a dangerous play. And these are the things that can happen. He is someone who, again, and I'm not just talking about this play in general. I've watched Heinicke's entire career. I know that he is the type of guy who will sometimes put the ball in a dangerous spot. He will. That being said, going over here, I mean, the good more than outweighed the bad in this game, where and there wasn't much bad. I mean, this game was this is the best you see of Heinicke, right? This one's going to be a zone coverage play, and you have Pitts running a deep route. But when Heinicke takes the snap, you're going to notice that the Colts are a little bit slow in getting back there. I mean, good job by Pitts to get there quickly, but the Colts probably should have this covered. That being said, though, that's, to me, sometimes a real test for a quarterback. Sometimes people criticize a quarterback, oh, you're throwing to a guy who, there's a window to throw it to him. But at the same time, this is a route that oftentimes is just a setup route. So being able to realize that on this play, it's actually not it was a setup route maybe on paper. It's actually something that's open, and noticing it and getting the ball over there, there's a real skill in that. But also, watch this throw. The corner for the Colts did a pretty good job at coming back, but it wasn't enough because Heinicke was able to get the ball there quick enough and put it accurately there. So when you can get this type of stuff from Heinicke, that's really what you want to see. Also, heading over here, I was really impressed with his processing at times in this game. Something like this. So you see the concept on the screen. It's the same thing on both sides. So you can kind of just pick, which matchup do you like on either side of the field and look in that direction. Heinicke is going to take the snap right here. He chooses to look towards his right, but doesn't love what he sees. Again, could you make a throw? You could, but it would be a bit risky, and he doesn't want to take this chance right here. So, again, I do think Ritter, for better or worse, just makes the throw right away, right? That's kind of what he typically does. He's more of a, run to play as designed. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it blows up in your face, but that's just kind of his mindset. Heinicke will maybe add a little bit and be he has been a good playmaker over his career. This is what part of being a playmaker is, going through your progressions quickly. Watch him quickly get over towards the middle of the field where he eventually finds a player. Does hesitate just for a split second, but not enough for the Colts player to come over and defend it. And that's a big play, I mean, it's still a 10-point game with a couple minutes left in the third quarter, so being able to pick up a first down, that's really good stuff by Heinicke, and being able to do that consistently, that could be what it takes for Atlanta to win their next 2 games against Chicago and New Orleans, which are winnable games. And also just stuff like this, where it's going to be zone coverage. You see that over the middle route right there. That's the one that you're going to look towards. These are the types of plays. This is, kind of a simple Arthur Smith type play, right? He likes these types of things. This is how his ideal offense wants to work. Run a play action, get players out of position, and then throw over the middle. As you see, Heinicke does run to play action. He looks over the middle, and, the linebackers are out of position. Their backs are kind of turned towards Heinicke, so he just has to time it well and throw this one accurately, and it's going to be a completion. And Heinicke does both of those two things. They do get a completion and are able to pick up a first down right there. So good stuff from Heinicke. That was later on in the drive, getting in field goal range, helping them, extend the lead, which in a game they had to win, and they were able to pull off. Listen, the Falcons are in trouble trying to make the playoffs. There's no denying it. What they need is, they might need Tampa Bay to lose out. I mean, that's what they need to win the division, is for Tampa Bay to lose out. But Tampa Bay plays Carolina. Hey, weirder things have happened, but that seems unlikely. So then you're looking in the wild card spot, but even that, you just need some help. If they win out, they would need they would need a pretty big loss to go their way. Like, they would need the Rams to lose to the Giants potentially this week, and then also lose to the 49ers the following week. Or perhaps the Seahawks losing to the Cardinals would be another big thing that could go their way. So they need help, and they need pretty significant help if they're going to get in. But I do think that they have, if they're going to get in, it's going to be because they win both games, and they have a chance to win both of their games. That's all they can control at this point. But I guess the other question is, should Heinicke have been the starter over Ritter? I think it's probably reasonable to feel that way now. I think now it definitely seems that way. At the time, though, I do understand why they like the Ritter, because he does seem like the kind of guy who would play well in practice, right? Because when things are going well, he does do a pretty good job at running the offense. He just couldn't protect the football, and it's not like Heinicke has been some god, in previous weeks. This is kind of the best game he's played so far for the Falcons. So I understand that at this point, yeah, Heinicke has to be the guy the rest of the way. Maybe they should have made a move a week or two earlier. That's reasonable. But at the end of the day, I still don't know what exactly this team's ceiling is with Heinicke as well. I should mention that, but it's probably higher than it is with Ritter. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.